right, let's start our first panel discussion with Mr. Dustin Kehoe, Service Director, Asia Pacific of Global Data, and Mr. Amit Jha, Senior Vice President of IT Operations and Engineering, Task Us Incorporated. And send us your questions regarding this discussion. I've got a couple here already. Hello, gentlemen. I'll throw this first question to Dustin of Global Data. To what extent do you see augmented or mixed reality becoming part of BPO?
Well, I think it's very interesting. It was also brought up in the presentation because what you're actually trying to do is you're connecting the front office with the back office. And just imagine someone shows up like a field worker to do a job. All of a sudden, they have digital overlays of the real world. That could be location, that could be sensor data, visuals, things like that. That means no troubleshooting, no paper-based process, resolving things much quicker. You connect that with the back end, you sort of have an end-to-end a customer experience type thing. But this can also mean different models. It can also mean somebody connecting to the remote field worker. Maybe the technical expert sits on the back end and you distribute the field force on the front end to provide that better customer experience. But then there are all these other models. If you remember, AR, VR was talked about in the retail sector. There's ways you can better engage with that technology. Maybe doing digital overlays of clothing, like I suggested, to help your close rates in doing a sale. You try before you buy. You look at your beautiful vacation in Boracay before you actually book a ticket. And the models through digitization are just beginning, and that's why I think it's exciting. It's not just BPO, but I see a bigger picture, if you will. Thank you.
Great, interesting insights. We also had, Cyrus Mewawalia earlier on mentioning how AI is actually decreasing because of augmented reality. So there's quite a shift that's happening. Amit, question for you from the floor. What is your cloud strategy and how is it different from industry standards?
Okay, see, if there is a common goal that all competing companies aspire for, regardless of the scale or the size, is growth. And you can't build an upgraded engine while flying the plane. So the strategy is we should always be ready to accommodate newer customers all the time and every time. So how we say it is wherever you need, when you need, and what you need. So it should be according to your capacity should always be available for your customers. That's the first equation. That's how we say it. From an IT and infra perspective, this is the shift in mindset basically after the pandemic. So that's the shift that we call it from a cloud-first company to a cloud-smart company. Now that we are in pandemic for more than a year now, so we have seen how technology enables us to work from anywhere while still being effective and secure. And in this sense, the physical office space has become not only a luxury for many companies, but also a hindrance to achieving more work easier and faster. Okay. So our serious work from home platform that Kurt was speaking a while back is an excellent example of our very unique cloud smart approach. Since March 2020, we were able to venture into new locations and start our operations without having to think about office proximity and other related factors. Our cloud smart approach is helping us to go live and accomplish more work from anywhere in the world in a short period of time, even in less than a week, so to say, which would take a few months when we solely has traditional brick and mortar operations. So that's how we are approaching Cloud Smart. Thanks.
So Task Us is in the work from anywhere camp here. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Going back to Dustin and back to our discussion on AI versus augmented reality, a question here from the floor. What role do you see in AI coming to BPO? Is there a fear that this will replace jobs? Is it still quite a threat?
Yeah, I've heard that before, and there is some, I don't ignore that, but if you actually look at what's about 70% of the people say out there, they're actually supportive or very supportive of it, as long as it's kind of, especially when it's used for things that are a little bit boring about work, like setting up meetings or the very mundane, repetitive things that we find with work. And think of like RPA as like having your own digital assistant. You might be able to populate content or fill out forms quicker or use this in different ways for training and employee development. we're finding many lines of business really engaging with this technology for these purposes. IT, human resources, facilities, and property management were amongst some of them. And remember that IT in most organizations isn't really just the IT department. It is the lines of business engaging. And ultimately, if our objective is actually winning the war on talent, then we have to win the battle for employee engagement. That's why I think this technology is something in the arsenal for that battle that we're having on winning an employee engagement, if you will.
Very interesting point here. So it's not, something that will be replacing it. It's something that will be retaining employees to love their jobs, actually. And on that point, a very related question here, Amit. What are you doing to move up or reskill your talent pool with the changing needs of technology? So definitely like upskilling, very related to the previous question.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So if you look at today's world, the new technology introduction happens so often, especially if you constantly work towards innovating and improving things that you're doing today or you were doing day before or months back. And new tools, programs, and infrastructure requires new skill and knowledge any day and every day. But hiring from outside, if you look at that, every time is a costly affair. That's one. Time consuming, that's two. And could be disastrous to your business going to market strategy. So what we have started basically is our IT organization. In the beginning of this year, we started a thing called IT University. In IT University, what we do is a learning need analysis for all our IT staff every quarter. So what we say is, what are the technologies that our customers are looking for? What are the technology that we need to implement? Or what is the technology that is there in market? And what is the skill of our people inside the company? So that's how we do the learning need analysis every quarter. And then we design our courses accordingly. And this is not only specific to IT organizations. So the different functions within the organization do follow the same methodology. And we promote the internal application training and apprenticeship programs to encourage and equip teammates to be more effective in their current role or in another position where they could be further growing with these trainings. For those passionate about data and analytics, because that's the new mantra of our life, if you may say. So we have a data science team and a data science boot camp available with us, and that takes care of that. So, and as everyone says, nothing is better than having a satisfied employee at the end of the day. So that's the motive.
Sounds
and that's
fun.
how we take care of it today.
And I think they can do that university from their homes as well, or from anywhere, as you mentioned.
Absolutely.
So it's not even
From the beach and
something.
the pool.
Yeah, wake up and go to boot camp. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for those insights. That was, of course, Mr. Dustin Kehoe of Global Data and Mr. Amit Jha of TaskUs Incorporated.